My name is Pam Siskey. I teach freshman algebra and integrated math at Bullitt East High School. This is my 26th year of teaching, and this is how I've used Google Classroom and our Google Chromebooks. Our algebra classes run on a flipped classroom model. I create videos for the students to watch at night using an app such as Doceri, as I'm doing right now, or I upload videos from Khan Academy or iTutoring into an app called Edpuzzle. At the beginning of the school year, I imported all of my students from Google Classroom into this app, so now I can post their assignments straight to Google Classroom. When I press the post button, I get this screen that will ask me where I want to post it. I can go ahead and assign it. I can also assign a due date. And when students come in to watch the video or watch the video at night, all they have to do is go to the stream on their Google Classroom and click on the link, and it takes them straight to the video. I get a monitoring sheet when the video is completed that tells me information about who's watched it, the grade they got on it from the quiz questions I put at the end of the video, when it was last seen, and whether it was turned in later on time. When I click on a student's name, I can tell how many times they've viewed the video and how much of the video they watched. This student, for example, only watched 70% of the video. He stopped watching 7 minutes in, and he didn't get any correct responses because the questions were at the end of the video. When I click on the Questions tab, I get the questions that I asked and how many students responded successfully to these questions. In this video, the first question had only 13 out of 29 students get the correct answer, so the next day I would have spent more time going over that one, as opposed to the second question where 20 out of 29 students got that one correct. Next, I'd like to show you an example of the first assignment I posted to Google Classroom. This assignment was started in class but had to be finished for homework. What you'll notice on this screen is that one student who finished her assignment posted a question, "Does anyone need help?" And then I want you to also notice that there were 38 comments to this. Students asking for answers and help, and asking each other, "Did I get this right? What did you get for number 9? Just a conversation that happened outside of the classroom as if it was like a study group. This was when I was just totally blown away by what technology can do in my classroom. Another of my favorite features is the Google Forms. Each day we start class with a bell ringer. Here I have an ACT question of the day. I can monitor when students are finished so that I know when to go over it. And when most of the students are finished, I can get a response sheet. I can review the results from the response sheet to know which questions that I should spend time going over in class and which questions I feel like my students have a pretty good understanding of. I can also get a printout of the responses. I've hidden the student name here, and I can assign grades based on the responses. And it's not just our students who are using Google Classroom. Our PLCs are using the Google Classroom as well. This is an example of my Algebra 1 PLC, of which myself, Jeff Richardson, Brenda Thornsberry are the Algebra 1 teachers. Jen Fletcher is one of our co-teachers, and then I've invited Mr. Mason. When we have PLC meetings, we each sit with our Chromebooks open. We create a document for our PLC minutes where we can all type at the same time. We can also put our test results on here, and you'll see this in just a few minutes. And we can also put our test on here so that we can share our tests. And we can share activities, Google Forms, anything that we would like to share with each other without using an email, and things that we can just take straight from this classroom and put into our classroom for our students. Here's an example of the day that we had from our first test. We sit down together and look at this and talk about how we can reach the students who didn't master each topic. In the About tab of our Google Classroom for our PLC, we keep a calendar. Together, we put on the calendar anything that we think is noteworthy. For example, if we know that we have field trips coming up, if we have pep rallies, earthquake drills, anything that would interrupt our instruction. And we also put on here the topics that we plan to cover for the day. And these are determined when we're in our PLC meetings. Staying with our PLC is important to us and making sure that we are covering the same material at pretty much the same pace. So what we found is that even when one of the teachers is absent, students don't get behind. I was absent one Monday and left a video, left my bell ringer, all of my instructions. When I came back Tuesday, it was as if I hadn't been absent. Students are also benefiting from this as well. We've had students who've been absent who've come into school, they've already had the video, and they've already done their assignments. So it helps with students who have to be absent and with teachers who have to be absent. Another huge benefit is student engagement. Here I have a video of my students when they were using quizzes for the first time. As you listen to the video, you'll hear them talking about what place they're in. They're excited about this activity. Because of the Chromebooks and Google Classroom, this 26-year veteran teacher is excited about teaching, and my students are excited about learning. So thank you very much.